Good afternoon, everyone. Anthony, Wall Street Trader, 3:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, November 26, 2021. This isn't financial advice, educational. Let's move on. We're going to talk about Quant US dollar. Okay, so we did bounce. We had talked about this. This was a line that's been going on now for August 17, 2021. This is like literally about 3 months and a half ago. All right, so here's the deal. We are currently down at 413. We really hit a bottom of around $1.98. This line was here on the last video, this solid red line, which comes all the way back here. There is another lower, longer term line down here and another one down here. So before we get into that, let's just take a look at a couple of things. Number one, we did have a nice bounce off of here. A lot of the price action overnight had to do with Bitcoin. Very macro level event, no question about it. Now, let's go take a look at what's going on. So we do right now currently see a line of support at 198. We're at 213, but there's another one below that around $179, excuse me, 179. I don't know that we're necessarily going to go below that. I think the Bitcoin route might be over. We'll go into that in a second, and I'll tell you why it might not be over, because there's two things I'm seeing all at the same time, which we're going to have to figure out. In the meantime, Bitcoin looking like we're still, strangely enough, as much as things were looking really good, things started crapping out for the Quant Bitcoin pair. However, we've been to this. This is not our first rodeo. We're at 361 is the area of support. We didn't get below that. Resistance area around 427. We're at 394. A lot of the price action has to do with Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin's percentage down 7%. Quant's down a little less than that. So let's move over to Bitcoin. Take a look at what's going on. Excuse me. Catching a bad cold and trying to get through these videos quickly. Sorry about that. In the meantime, we do have a downward looking, what gets me concerned is the downward looking pennant formation that we have starting to take shape. Not exactly clear on whether or not we're bouncing off or not. But this is what I see. This is a downward pennant, which means we possibly could be melting down. Now, let me tell you why that is. Well, first and foremost, downward pennants generally like that, where you come into the pennant on the downside from top to down, is generally somewhat of a bearish signal. So we have to be concerned about that. It's not to say that that will happen. I've seen plenty of these things work out the other way too. So that's kind of my bearish case for Bitcoin. We also broke this blue line of support, which could necessarily not be much because we've done it before and came right back into the channel. So that could be happening right now. We're 54,500. We were as low as 53,500. So that happened way earlier this morning. Now, in the meantime, let's go take a look over at Bitcoin dominance, and this is where I don't necessarily think we're going to have much more of this to go, but Bitcoin dominance is fairly low, and we're sitting on this line right here, 42.28. So 42.18 is where we're at. This thing continues to go down. We did have a spike. It was a 1% spike going from low 42s all the way to low 43s, which is about 100 basis points of 1%. Now, excuse me. That's kind of where we're at right now. I don't see a lot of fear coming out of the Bitcoin dominance thing, but we just have to kind of, when you see this route in Bitcoin, you kind of have to just hold your breath a little bit and let it pass. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what to do. This is not financial advice, just pointing out my personal plan of action for now. But right now, Quant 213, we need a reason for this thing to pull up, and I mean reverse. Unfortunately, we could be in for a little bit more of a ride until we're done with this route in the overall macro event, which we've heard related to COVID coming out of Africa, clearly jolting the markets, not just the cryptos, but even the stock market. Anyway, I'm out.